Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is News at 12. News at 12.
For the local scene, Albay honors outstanding educators. The Albay Provincial Education Department has launched the 24 Bituon kan Albay as part of the Albay Kadunong Awards 2026. The program recognizes outstanding teachers and child development workers for their dedication and contributions to education across the province. One outstanding teacher will be selected from each of Albay's 18 local government units and will receive a cash award of 100,000 pesos and a trophy. 6 outstanding child development workers with 2 awardees from English Legislative District will also receive 50,000 pesos and a trophy. The initiative aims to honor educators and child development workers who continue to help shape the learning and development of young Albayanos and strengthen their communities. Moreover, Albay Governor's Cup set for July opening. The Albay Intertown Governor's Cup 2026 will open on July 11 at the Albay Astrodome with teams from cities and municipalities across the province. The Provincial Youth Development Office has released the tournament guidelines and pre-tournament schedule ahead of the opening. Key preparations include the submission of entries, player screening and verification, coaches briefing and rehearsals for participating muses. This year's tournament will feature basketball in the open category and volleyball competitions for both men and women. The event aims to strengthen sports development, teamwork, and camaraderie among Albayano athletes. Meanwhile, Provincial Health Office boosts anti-drug drive for youth. The Albay Provincial Health Office has strengthened its anti-drug advocacy through a preventive education programs for out-of-school youth from different municipalities in the province. The activity was held in Camalig to raise awareness about the harmful effects of illegal drugs and substance abuse. The program focused on mental health awareness and substance abuse prevention among vulnerable youth sectors. Participants learned about the physical, psychological, and social effects of drug abuse, as well as the factors that can increase the risk of substance use. The discussion also emphasized the importance of recognizing mental health concerns and seeking appropriate support when needed. Young participants were encouraged to practice open communication, peer support, and help-seeking behavior to help reduce the stigma and promote healthy choices. The provincial office says the initiative is part of its continuing efforts to guide young Albayanos towards safer and healthier lifestyle. In the national scene, Sara files impeachment response. Vice President Sara Duterte, through her lawyers, filed her response to the impeachment complaint on Monday, arguing that there were constitutional and procedural issues in the way the case was handled. The House Prosecution Panel said it would submit its reply within the required 5-day period and aims to complete the filing before the June 8 deadline. Lead Prosecutor Representative Jervil Luistro said they hope Duterte's response directly addresses the allegations in the impeachment complaint rather than focusing on technical legal arguments. The prosecution team also said it is prepared to oppose any attempt to dismiss the impeachment case, stressing that Senate impeachment rules call for a trial that should end in either conviction or acquittal. Duterte was impeached by the House over allegations of corruption and an alleged plot against President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. And if at least 16 senators convict her, she would be removed from office and permanently barred from seeking elected positions. Meanwhile, Senate panel to resume probe. The Senate Blue Ribbon Committee will resume its investigation into alleged irregularities and flood control projects on Thursday, June 4, as part of its ongoing legislative inquiry. According to a notice sent to senators, the committee will review privileged speeches delivered by Senators Panfilo Lacson, Jinggoy Estrada, Erwin Tulfo, and Rodante Marcoleta regarding the alleged flood control scam. As of writing, no minority senators have been elected to the panel, which is now chaired by Pia Cayetano under the Senate's new leadership. The committee's members include Senators Rodante Marcoleta, Jinggoy Estrada, Francis Escudero, Christopher Go, Amy Marcos, Robin Padilla, and siblings Mark Villar and Camille Villar, while Vicente Soto III, Joel Villanueva, and Lauren Ligarda serve as ex officio members. Meanwhile, Escudero, Estrada, and Villanueva have been linked to the alleged scam, and Estrada was issued an arrest warrant by the Sandigan Bayan on Monday in connection with plunder charges. In a related update, Estrada denies cases, claims pressure. Senator Jinggoy Estrada on Monday claimed that the repeatedly rejected offers to leave the Senate's independent majority bloc in exchange for the dismissal of the flood control cases filed against him. Estrada said he chose to remain with the bloc, arguing that the issue goes beyond his personal circumstances and concerns the independence of the Senate as an institution. The senator made the allegation during a press conference but did not present evidence or identify the individuals who allegedly made the offers. The remarks came as Estrada surrendered to authorities following the issuance of a second arrest warrant against him, this time in connection with a non-bailable plunder case linked to the alleged misuse of flood control funds. Denying any involvement in the alleged scheme, Estrada said he had instructed the Senate Secretary to withhold his salary while he faces the charges, saying he intends to clear his name through legal proceedings. For the news outside the country, Iran-U.S. talks face hurdles. Iran's chief negotiator Mohammad Baghir Ghalibaf said Tehran will not accept any agreement with the United States unless it fully protects Iran's rights, highlighting ongoing disagreements and talks over its nuclear program and regional security. His comments came after reports that U.S. President Donald Trump had sent Iran a tougher proposal, raising concerns that further changes could delay efforts to end tensions in the Middle East and reopen the strategically important Strait of Hormuz. While Trump said Iran had agreed not to develop nuclear weapons, Iranian officials maintained that no final deal has been reached and stressed that negotiations are continuing with both sides still proposing changes. Iran has demanded the release of $12 billion in frozen assets before holding deeper nuclear talks and has also called for Lebanon to be included in any broader agreement, amid continued clashes involving Iran-backed Hezbollah and Israel. Despite ongoing diplomatic efforts, sporadic fighting has continued, with reports of military incidents involving Iran, the United States, and Israel, while Israeli forces expanded operation in southern Lebanon and Hezbollah launched new attacks. Meanwhile, Ebola outbreak in Central Africa. More than 1,100 suspected Ebola cases are being investigated in the Democratic Republic of Congo and neighboring Uganda, while 263 infections and 43 deaths had been officially confirmed as of Saturday. According to the head of the Africa CDC Director General Jean Kaseya urged African nations to act quickly to contain the outbreak, warning that the continent must reduce its reliance on foreign funding to respond effectively to health emergencies. Health ministers from Democratic Republic of Congo, Uganda, and South Sudan have approved a $319 million response plan, with Kaseya describing the outbreak as a major test for both the Africa CDC and the African Union. The Ebola outbreak was declared on May 15 in Ituri province in northeastern Congo and has since spread to 3 provinces in the country as well as part of Uganda, raising concerns about wider transmission. The World Health Organization has issued an international health alert and warned that the actual number of cases may be higher than reported, while WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus pledged continued support during a visit to affected communities in Ituri. In a related update to our country, Philippines suspends Netherlands AU pair approvals. The Philippine Embassy in The Hague will stop approving AU pair contracts for Filipinos starting July 1, 2026 due to widespread reports of abuse in the AU pair system in the Netherlands. Authorities said many AU pairs has made to work beyond legal limits, receive below required allowances, and are treated as full-time domestic workers instead of cultural exchange participants. The suspension will stay until stronger protection and enforcement mechanisms are in place. The decision follows similar suspension in other European countries and ongoing concerns raised by studies. Regulators like the Immigration and Naturalization Service and advocacy groups about exploitation in the program, despite stricter rules introduced in recent years. That ends our news break for today, June 2, 2026. We'll be back tomorrow for more news updates. Thanks to our noon break writers Elzo Lorejo and Naomi Hernandez. And on the technical side, we have Mr. Richard Bobes and Cristel Abad. To our Provincial Information Office OIC Marty Gonzalez, under the supervision of our Governor Noel E. Rosal. This has been your anchor, Anessa P. Babb. Thank you for subscribing. Albay in my heart.